Like, oh, people at Berkeley are so ugly because they just study all the time. Hello, today I'm going to be answering my most asked questions about UC Berkeley I get in my emails or my Instagram DMs. These are questions I didn't really tackle on as specifically in my 10 things about UC Berkeley you didn't know about. So today I'm going to be answering these questions. Okay, we're gonna start. Okay, so the first question I get asked pretty often is it hard to do well at UC Berkeley? And I kind of tackled this in my other video about 10 things to know about UC Berkeley, but I would say, again, it is easy to pass, but it'd be hard to do well, per se, or get straight A's. I know a lot of people that are electrical engineering CS, the EECS major, that have GPAs less than 3.0s. But then I also know a whole bunch of people that also have 4.0s. But depending on your major and how much resources available, I would say for those majors really is highly dependent on that. But I do think it is a passable school. You definitely can get a passing grade. They don't have room for you to be failing, so you will pass. You might not get your A, but you will pass. The second thing I get asked is it hard to get into classes in terms of enrollment? This one, it really depends on what major you're trying to declare. So a lot of people come into Berkeley, if you're coming in as LNS, which is Letters and Science, you will not be declared. So you can technically declare anything in that college. That includes anything from computer science, media studies, econ, and all you have to do to declare is take the prerequisite classes and get a certain GPA, fill out an application, and then you're declared. So obviously those popular lower division classes that everybody wants to take or get into so they can declare is pretty hard to get into, but they are really large. For example, 61A, which is the Intro to CS class, I think they don't even have a cap, or they do, it's really high, and a lot of times all the lectures are online, so I think they do their best to try to get everybody in as possible. If you just have a bad enrollment time and you can't get in, I mean, a lot of these general lower division classes are offered every semester, so you can definitely get in at one point. And honestly, summer classes, you can get into them for sure, and I think summer classes are better, less people, more resources, and the class goes by quicker, so that's kind of a double-edged sword if you're okay with a fast-paced class. But it's hard, and it's kind of a luck of the draw of how your enrollment time is, but you will get into a class and you will be able to declare. Is Berkeley Goggles real? So if you don't know what that means, is people often say like, oh, people at Berkeley are so ugly because they just study all the time. And I'm not saying that there's tons of ugly people, but I'm gonna tell you there isn't a lot of very attractive people. It's not as attractive as BYU, which is known to be the school with the most attractive human beings or college students. But I mean, there's a reason why Harvard isn't known for their looks and other schools are more known for their looks. And I'm not gonna say that there's a direct relationship between studies, academics, and genetics, but yeah, that's just my 2 cents. You really have to come here yourself to check it out. Honestly, looks don't matter anyway. It's all about the heart and their personalities, so try to keep that in mind for all those people that are really invested into Berkeley Goggles. Is UC Berkeley just a school filled with Ivy League rejects? This is yes, because there are a lot of people that were rejected from Ivy Leagues, but then there's a portion of people that this was their dream school and they're like super surprised and super shocked that they got it, and they're like super grateful. Go Bears, I can't believe I got into Cal. So there's that population, and there's also the Ivy League rejects, and then just people who got into better schools but then chose to go to Cal because it's in-state and they save money, and the Ivy League rejects, people who made like rational decisions, and then there's like the people who got in because this was their dream school and they're like, this is my dream school. Is it hard to make friends at UC Berkeley? I think just like any big public school, it can be pretty hard to make friends if you're not integrated into a community. So if I wasn't in any of my clubs or communities, I probably would have 0 friends, because you don't really go to class to make friends. They don't give you time to, go mingle, or in your discussion section, you're taking a quiz or test. They're not telling you to exchange phone numbers and mingle for 10 minutes and do icebreakers. So in that sense, yes, if you don't join clubs or communities, it will be pretty lonely experience. If you join 1 or 2 clubs and really dedicate yourself and tell yourself like, oh, I'm gonna be an active member and I'm gonna make the effort to go to socials, and even though it's like a little awkward and weird in the beginning, definitely will pay out and you'll be able to develop like long lasting friendships with people. I know people also got really close to their floor mates. Apparently my whole floor is closed except for me. But I was just so antisocial on my floor. I don't know why, but when I think of floor and going home, I don't really want to socialize with people. I just want to go home and sleep on my bed. But I am aware my floor is very close without me. Okay, so the next question is, how often do I go to San Francisco or Oakland? And I would say I definitely don't go as much as I would like to, but just because when you're in school mode, you just get so caught up with doing homework or like recruiting for clubs or running clubs or doing this and that. Going to SF, even though it's only a 35-minute BART, which is the Bay Area Rapid Transportation, Transit? I think it's transit. Is it transit? It's Bay Area Rapid Transit. Yeah, I think it's Bay Area Rapid Transit. The BART, it takes like 35 minutes. It's kind of an all-day activity, I feel like, because the round trip is like an hour commute, and then you go there and you eat, and then you do dinner, and then you take pictures and you go get dessert. So you have to low-key commit a lot of hours to it, so then people just generally don't go that often. But I would say I go to SF for social like SF activities maybe once a month. Probably less than that, maybe like once every 2 months. I definitely want to go out more because there's so many cool places to go eat and get dessert and get drinks and take pictures. But when I'm at Berkeley, I'm in like school mode. I'm not really in travel mode. So that's that. And I don't really go to Oakland that much. Do you need a car here? So I think you don't need a car here. As Berkeley students, you get a free bus pass. Okay, it's not free because you do pay for it. So I guess you just get a bus pass. So you just pay for a bus pass that's mandatory. So you get a bus pass, but you get access to the AC Transit, and pretty much you only need to know how to take the 51B and then the 6 bus and maybe the 79. It's really simple to use, and they just go down the same path every day, and I wouldn't say they're super reliable on time, but they do come often enough that you will be able to get it right. Once the sun sets, I do like to Uber everywhere if I'm by myself, or Lyft everywhere, just because it's a little sketch town like I've mentioned before. And so you can do Uber pool or Lyft pool because we have a lot of people in demand for it. It can add up, but I mean, your safety has no price. And also gig cars are a thing here. If you don't know what a gig car is, it's basically like a scooter or a bird scooter lime thing for cars, so you can just scan and pick up, drive, and they just charge you by the miles or time, and then you just park it and then you go. And great thing about gig is it's covered, it's through AAA, and so insurance is covered, and also parking is covered, like meter parking. That's pretty cool too. I use that quite often, so you don't really need a car. However, if people who do bring cars use them a lot to go grocery shopping, and they become the friend with the car, which is very beneficial too. So you could totally be the friend with the car. Would I say Greek life is big here / what's the party scene here? So I'd say Greek life isn't that huge here, and I think the way people party is more so like in communities. So if you're part of Greek life, you'll probably party with Greek life people, but if you're part of the business fraternity or the business club that's on campus, they all kind of know each other and party with each other. I don't really know if the engineers party. I don't know if engineers have clubs. No, I think engineers do have clubs, but I don't know how often they party and socialize, really. Not to say that engineers don't socialize. I'm sure they socialize. Like clumps of clubs party together. So Greek life isn't huge, so you don't have to be in Greek life to have parties, have socials, and you can totally be involved in that social sphere without being in Greek life. But I do know tons of people who are in Greek life as well, whether that's Pan-Hellenic or also Asian Greek, which we do have on campus as well. Okay, so I think that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Those are just some common questions I get asked about UC Berkeley. I know it's UC application time, so I hope this was helpful. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to answer. Leave it below, but I'll link all my other UC Berkeley videos in the description box. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.